looking at it from. And
but then, because they are current champions, right?
Yeah, you are current champions.
They are not closer to retaining the title. They are defending champions. They are not closer to retaining the title.
The season you won the league, you were not playing in Africa. So the burden was lesser than it is now.
Okay.
Now you're playing in Africa. You've had an experience in Africa. And trust me, most of these players are already fatigued. Mentally and physically, they are fatigued. All the travels, the long journeys to North Africa, Eastern Africa, and it doesn't come that easy. And I thought the first thing they were supposed to do, before the season started, was to think about how to, beefing up the squad, how to augment the squad, add more quality to it, because you need to be rotating the squad. You just don't need a slim squad to play both in the league and in Africa. It doesn't happen that way. But then unfortunately, they stuck to the same set of players, and you could just barely count, literally, the number of players that have ended up playing for Medeama the whole of this season in the league, and also
it's a very thin squad.
It's a thin. You don't expect to win much with such, it's a sizable number of players. It doesn't really help. But then for Medeama, see, so many things have changed. One has to do with Evans Augustin Aduti had to change his role from the head coach to the technical advisor or technical director of the club. That's one of the things that happened. The second thing is also, the departure of Jonathan Soa, who top scorer.
In the middle of a season.
Last season he was their top scorer. This season he's still their top scorer. So that's another thing you could put it. The third thing too has to do with the fact that Vincent Atinga Adai, who was their
the Premier League,
in the Premier League at the FA Awards. So that was another thing they also lost. So count the number of things they lost in a space of 3 to 4 months. And can you ask yourself that plays all these things? And one has to be Jonathan Soa. I think, yes, he went away with the goals. But then just look at BBN Goal Stars. They had the top scorer in their team in Zlatan Abednego. But then he left the Brockton Asso. They know that Asso would not be able to replicate those 18 goals Abednego scored. So they try to share the goals amongst the players. And you find Eric Bosomchi scoring. You find Kamara scoring. So, not there. One is a striker, but we have strikers who are not the goals, and I believe that's one thing Medeama will have to do.
Well, today Medeama will have themselves together. Badly, we have clash against Accra. We look at the lineup. go down the mic. DB. Accra. The mistake is to still they recap David Young tank it was in that line had to don't know what system funny I'm
Yeah. Like a back. You have Winnie, you have Afrani,
yeah,
who are
because
all
there's
centre
Thomas when naming
you
as
have
well.
Ampedu, who is, and then you have Livingston, who is a left back. And I believe that Tangi also you have complementing the efforts of Amankwabefi as the two. But then them and the new head coach sort of dynamism. They know how to tweak their systems even within game. And
Abubakar Wacha be a man who is not afraid of trying new things.
Well, he's an adventurous man. He's just not scared to take on new challenges. And every successful manager should have that trait. At some point, you just have to take risk, and you hope it will not be every game played. They will not. What has led to the last goalkeeper cost out precious. They do errors, and we all were. But I don't know. Now, game going to them another goal.
Been good here to the bench. That is the man.
Yeah, be a system that he's not good. He say, man, he's tight and the way in area. Actually, he's very yes. Oh, as compared, keep the count. When he played in Swatchman, when he scored that wonderful goal with that partnership with Nkrumah Kosa, just as much as right wing, but then you know that with the area, not the way they'll just